Hello, folks. Good morning. So today we have a lovely gentleman with us, Tom. Tom has been staying in Luang Prabang for like a month or something.
Right.
Yeah. So he's going to share us some of his experience about living in Luang Prabang and his dating life here. So I think that's going to be interesting story for some of audiences. They might want to hear it. And yeah, let's start it. So
Okay.
can you please tell us like where you're from? And
Yeah, sure. I was born in USA, but I came here from Austria, not to be confused with Australia, not the continent, but the country. And it's probably interesting for your viewers. There's different people that are dating. Really, it's age specific too. So I'm 57 years old. Yeah. Good looking.
you don't look 50.
I was looking at your face like,
Yeah,
what was
you-
that? Good
you look
looking or
much
bad
good
looking?
your age.
Okay, good.
That's
I'm
fine.
57.
57. Wow.
I'm really 57 though. Yeah. So at any rate, yeah, a little bit of context is also probably helpful, right? So
Yeah.
I'm someone who was married twice. Yeah, first marriage, no children, and then the second marriage had a daughter I loved very much, but the woman didn't love me. Okay, so that's my context. So then I come to this idea that I'm divorced and I want to develop a new relationship. And even though I'm 57, it might surprise your audience. And they might be wondering, why do I keep looking here? Because there's like these Buddhists swimming in the river. Should we show them that?
Yeah. Let's take a peek. So, as you can see from the distance, those monks are swimming. Looks like it's.
Oh, here's the phone.
Yeah. Looks like they're trying to look for something underneath.
Gold? Are they looking for gold?
Probably. Maybe.
They're panning for gold for their monastery.
Yeah. Yeah.
They always have that like offering thing that they want money for electricity and water, right?
Yeah.
So now they're trying to get some gold for their electricity and water. But yeah, so here I am, 57-year-old, divorced now after 5 years. Like I said, I love my daughter. She's 12 years old. But I'd love to get married again and to have more children. Yeah, 57 years old, let's go. Hopefully the children come out like healthy. I know there's some risk there with age.
Yeah.
But that's where I'm at. So basically, I had this idea of, looking at Southeast Asia where that age difference is more accepted. Okay, so I just started dabbling in this, and then like with the Philippines, I tried that a little bit with the internet dating, and then I met a girl, but it was like too mercantile, I think.
Okay.
I had the feeling that was like really sort of mercantile thing. So like a little bit, like I'm still looking for friendship. There's always an exchange, but I'm looking for some friendship also. And I thought maybe Laos would have more of that. What do you think? Did you see that as Laos more friendship-based relationships, less mercantile?
Yeah, to be honest, I don't have much experience dating a Lao person. I never dated a Lao person except my first girlfriend when I first left the temple at the time when I was 21. I was confused whether or not if I like guy or girl, and then I went on and I dated this lovely girl. It lasted for 2.5 months, and she wanted to have a family, so I pulled out because I was confused by myself. So I didn't, date that many Lao person, but I think based on your questions, I think most Lao people like to take time,
Okay.
to get to know somebody. For us, it's like getting to know the person before developing, to the next level is very important. And Lao women tend to be very, how can I say, family oriented and conservative. So everyone that you met, they want to have family, they want to have children and stuff like that. So.
It's going to be great because now you get to hear like this archetype from Nat, and then you get to hear the reality from Tom. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. You have to share.
I'm going to tell you the reality after a month, yeah. But how old were you? You said when you left the temple and you had
21.
21.
Yes.
Okay, I missed that. Interesting. Thank you, Nat. Very interesting. So I had this idea that instead of that mercantile Thailand, Philippine thing, I'm going to come to Laos. It's going to be more real, like you said, more family oriented, because that's what I want. And now I've been doing it for a month. So my plan was first learn the language. Okay, so I got on italki.com. That's just a good website. I have no relationship with them financially, but it was just good. It's a good place where you can go register, find a native speaker. And so I spent 2 months learning the Lao language.
That's why your Lao is pretty good.
Well, no, I'm just learning it. But I learned enough to do my pickup line. Yeah. And I had this idea for this interview. I hadn't told you this, but I thought maybe I'd tell you what the line is in Lao, and you could translate it into English. Okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So it always starts. For me, it starts with sincerity. So you see a woman, and you're like, wow, she's beautiful, right? So, Jiao Ngam Te.
Zhangam te. Yes, it can mean you're beautiful or you're beautiful. You're really beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah, if you added te in the end, it's like you're really beautiful.
But I didn't say Jiao Ngam Lai. What's the
Zhangam
difference?
lai is also the same thing. Like you're
What's the difference? Jiao Ngam Te.
ngam te and ngam lai it is the same context depending on which region that you're from
Okay.
in Laos. Yeah.
Then I'd say, Jiao Koi Su Tomad.
Kwaisu Thomas means my name is Thomas.
Jiao Sun Yang.
What's your name?
Okay, so start like that. Then just get the ball rolling. Then say, Koi Ko Wao Noinung.
Can I speak to you a little bit? Something like that.
Koi Hien Pasalao Dai Noinung.
I think if you would translate it into typical Lao context that people would understand, it would mean like I started to learn Laos.
Okay,
And
okay.
now I can speak a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. That's what I was trying to say. I just wanted to make sure this was really what I was trying to say. Then I say, Leo Kidwa Yakma Yulao Paman Dun Nung.
And I think I want to live in Laos for about a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pua Sokha Pusao Tiyak Sang Kobkua Namgan.
I want to look for a girl who wants to build a family. That's beautiful pickup line.
Thanks. No, that's exactly what I said. So I mean, what this is coming from like a what we call coming to Jesus, okay? Which means like you just sort of think about reality and just deal with exactly what you want. So this is when I was still in Austria, and I'm thinking, what do I really want? How do I want to say it? Just to be completely honest and completely direct. And then I say, Jiao Yakja Hujakan.
You want to know me? Yeah. You want to know each other? Yes.
So that's what I said, okay? Yeah. And I said this to like 12 women, okay,
12
over the course of the month, who gave me their contact.
Oh, okay. So how easy for you as a foreigner looking for a woman in Laos?
So it was very easy to get the contact, but that's the joke. It's not the punchline. So it's very easy to get the contact, and this is really interesting. Now we need to get into this, okay?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, here we go. So 12 women in 1 month. Guess what? I think 8 or 9 of them were married or in a relationship.
They're in relationship, but they still like flirt with you or something?
They gave me their contact, Nat.
That's interesting.
Okay, so we can talk about this now with your viewers. I think it's very interesting. They will both discover a lot of things. One thing is there's a law here, which is that foreigners cannot have an intimate relationship with a Lao woman if they're not married.
Yeah,
And they definitely can't live together.
totally true.
And that provides a safety zone, I think. What do you think about that?
It's the culture thing, and also not just the law. It's like let's go back to the past. Back in the day, even now in the countryside, to be able to live with someone, you had to get married first. You know, to have the intimate relationship, like you said. And now it's still people still practice, but it's not like 100% imposed or strongly. Not everyone would follow that rule anymore. It can happen sometimes, just that you don't want to get caught by the police. That's all. I mean, I have friends who dated foreigners. They have not married, but they live together. But they have to make sure they avoid, the police or authorities to get caught. I think the Lao authority are trying to protect the Lao women because, back in the past, like I used to do this one video a long time ago that Lao women got trafficked into our neighboring countries for human trafficking. There were so many of them. One girl in my hometown gone disappear since.
I remember seeing a video where you described that.
And it's very sad. Her parents still waiting for her and still believe that she must be somewhere out there alive. Because of this happened so much. So the authorities kind of aware of it,
But then did they ever find that girl?
No.
They never found her, really?
Unfortunately.
Oh, yeah.
And this day it's still happening, but in the way of fake marriage, especially go to China. There's so many Chinese men they came to Laos and they found an agent who happened to be a Lao people who recruit these girls from countryside, mainly Hmong girl, who then have understanding of the danger of human trafficking, and because of the family status, they just need some money. So when these men approach the parents and offer the dowry, they would give their girls
the dowry,
away.
that's the law, is that you have to pay the dowry first, and then you can have the relationship.
So years after years, so many girls got trafficked to China, but also many of them got rescued as well.
Yeah.
So that's why it becomes more stricter these days.
Yeah, I promise not to traffic anybody. Kind of need to add that. It's different. A very different intention. Let's just be very direct about that. That my intention is to get married to a woman and have children, not to traffic anything. Right?
Yeah.
You understand? Okay.
That's good intention.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Because there are good intentions also as bad intentions, right?
What kind of personality you're looking for in a woman?
God, I'm not picky, right? So I think everyone is an individual. By the time you really get to know somebody, there's going to be stuff you like and don't like, no matter how you look at it. So it's really more, it's the question of the age. Can they still have children? And do they have the dream of having a family and being in a relationship, and what that means, like picnics and vacations together. I'm a programmer, I work from home, so I'm very active. Do they have that dream of having a husband that's like really involved in raising children and wants to change diapers and make food together and go on planned family vacations and I said picnics, but like birthdays, and like there's these family things that you do that can be really fun.
Yeah.
It's funny you say birthdays because they don't always have birthdays here. They think of birthdays in Laos like a very bad day where the mother was at risk of dying, so they don't want to celebrate their birthdays.
Birthday has become a new thing in Lao society. Back in the day, you would never see people celebrate their birthday, but now you start slowly seeing it. Yeah.
So, okay, back to the deal. So the deal is I asked this question, they give me their contact. Now, what we were trying to explain is why would there be so many women that were married that gave me their contact? And in a relationship. And I think that's partially because there's a safety zone that the law kind of keeps us apart a little bit. Maybe. That's just one idea. But then let's just look at this a little bit at my experience. So I think that I can group all 12 women as having the general motivation of an experiment. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they all wanted to experiment with me. So, and these are women from ages 17, which is a 40-year age difference, to 27, which is, there's one, it's 27. So that's actually, there was one woman that was 37, which is a 20-year age difference, but she was actually, she's married and recommended her niece, who is 17 years old, that I get to know her, as well as her friend who is 30 years old. Which never materialized. But okay, so these 12 women, honestly, just looking at it exactly as it is, it's 12 women that are all individuals, and we can talk about their individual kind of feelings, but for all of them, I was an experiment. None of them was like, in the end, was like, oh, this is the guy I want to marry, or you know what I mean? Well, it's just 1 month, but I mean, none of them really showed me that feeling that, oh, they're comfortable with me, and like, for example, I'm living in Austria now. None of them were like, oh, tell me about Austria. Let's look at that. This was like, I was like, listen, for your listeners, I was an interstellar traveler and a non-terrestrial being for them, and it was just like, let's experiment with this guy. What is he like? Yeah, of course I'll give you my contact. And now what's the experiment? Well, different experiments, like I said, 12 different people. Some of them, the experiment is just like creature comforts. Like, will you pay for a meal? Will you buy me a jacket or something if we go shopping? That's like 3 of them. Okay?
Okay.
Other ones, the experiment is, guess what? I got married when I was 16 years old, and I'm bored with my husband. I'm okay. I'm not going to get divorced, but I'm bored. So my experiment is just tell me, what is it like to be a man with your phenotype? So phenotype means like how you look, right? Mm-hmm. What is it like? You're tall. Why are you so tall? Everyone here is like really short. The house I'm staying in, everything is so small. So, it's like, it hurts my back everywhere. Liv's like, what's this big guy like? So, that's in general, that's the thing. So we had like 12 women that really wanted to experiment with me and just kind of see what I'm like. But, and who knows, maybe some of those women, one, hopefully, will materialize over that time and become someone that's really interested in me as a person, not just an experiment, and that would like to get to know me, as well as just, going out and stuff.
Yeah, well, the thing about Lao people in general, they're not curious enough. I don't know, maybe it's the culture thing. A lot of people, when you ask question, it can mean it's like you're too nosy. So that's the mindset of some Lao people. Most of Lao people still have it. Other thing, don't you think it's the language barrier?
Okay, let's talk about that. That's going to be an interesting one for your listeners, is how do you deal with the language? Even if you're studying Lao, I mean, you're not fluent, right? So how do you deal with it? Because they really don't speak English. I mean, none of these 12 women that I met spoke English. Okay, so first of all, there's ChatGPT.
Yeah.
So that's a real language bridge. A Google Translate can't translate very well from Lao to English, but ChatGPT can do a great job.
Yeah. If you translate from English into Thai, that's a lot better versus if you do it from English to Lao.
Right. So that's really the answer to your question. But you're right. There's a language barrier. And when you start a real relationship, there's a friendship there. So that's going to be something like, tell me about yourself. Like, what's your favorite food to eat or something? Or like, hey, do you want to go do this? Do you want to go ride bikes together? Do you want to go for a run, or something like this? And, that's if there's an honest sort of, that I don't think I really felt that with any of these women, that they really did that with me. Like I say, I'm an experiment for them. I'm like an interstellar traveler, not even out of your solar system, okay? Another whole solar system. That this guy came and just like, what did you ask me? If I want to make a family? Well, I love, like you say, I love family life, but you're like an alien. So if we had sex, I would have an alien popping out of my chest. Did you see that movie? Right? It's like, it would be like just, but I'd like to know about it. I don't want to have that alien popping out of my chest, but hey, let's at least go out for dinner. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah, it's kind of sad like that. But on the other hand, I would say there's like 3 of these women that are definitely still, very actively communicating. And it could, that level of respect of like listening to each other, and that really could develop. So we'll see. I hope it does.
I hope so too. So are these women, like you said, they're like in the early 20s or something?
I said 17.
17.
No, that was just one. There's 17 to 28.
To 28.
And the 28-year-old was married and is married and has a daughter, and she's a really wonderful woman. And we talked. She gave me her contact and everything. But then she was finally like, guess what? I'm married.
Okay. Right. Yeah. The things that you mentioned earlier, that these women introduced you to somebody else.
Yeah, they did that. Yeah.
It's still Lao culture here. It's still a thing. Meeting each other through friends and family is still very common.
Yeah.
Every now and again I do have friends who ask me, because I'm dating a foreigner, and they ask me, can you look for a foreign partner for me?
Things like that. Again, you're dating
a foreigner.
A foreigner.
Yeah.
Who is from what country?
From Ireland.
Oh, that's nice. I love Ireland. So the guy from Ireland is asking you?
No, my Lao friend asking me.
Lao friend.
Yeah, asking me to look for a foreign boyfriend for them.
Through your Irish friend.
Yeah.
So your Irish friend would recommend another foreigner who would be
things
available
like that.
for your friend.
Yeah.
And your friend here in Laos is the one asking. I get it. So your friend in Laos is asking sort of friend-to-friend connection.
Yeah.
And I definitely felt that very strongly. Not only friend to friend, but friend to family. Like I say, this one woman that's 38 and married and has a wonderful daughter that's the same age as my daughter, 12 years old, had the niece, so has a sister who had a daughter who, and let me just tell your audience, is wondering like, what kind of a pervert is this guy who's like with these 57 years old with a 17-year-old? But I mean, honestly, I'm just into making a family. If the girl wanted a family, great. Well, let me tell you what happened with the 17-year-old. She's a really nice little girl, you know what I'm saying? And she's very, very funny. She made this joke. We're sitting with the first time we sit down, right? At a cafe, right? With her aunt and stuff. So we meet at a cafe all together. And I had prepared a little thing to say like that. Oh, you're my princess and stuff. Yeah, and right, because there's only in Laos, right? And so then, and I say something like, yeah, my dream, is to have a family, and to get married and have children, and live in a house together and just love each other and stuff. And said, what's your dream, right? And I won't say what her name is, right? And she says, my dream is to not get married.
Okay, that's a good answer.
I was just laughing. And when she said it was a joke, kind of, because of course she actually does want to get married.
Yeah.
But when she said that, it was so funny. And her aunt just starts crying and laughter.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm laughing, and I'm just like, that's great. So I mean, one thing that you get with a 17-year-old, which your listeners might remember if they remember when they were 17, or if they are 17 now, is that there's a real honesty, and it's a sincerity and honesty about life. And hey, I got to give credit. Here's this 17-year-old who's willing to meet this 57-year-old man, stand up for her own, feelings, and to make jokes and to feel free to make jokes at my expense. And we met again and, made dinner together with her aunt and her aunt's daughter, and that was really nice. And then we met. But when we met, here's the thing. When we met alone twice, me and this 17-year-old girl, she was not comfortable.
I can't imagine.
Because we're at a restaurant and she's worried. She's like, that's my teacher's friend is going to report on me that I was with some 57-year-old man. Yeah. Maybe I don't quite look 57, but I look something like that.
You look younger than you are.
Well, thank you. But I definitely don't look like I'm 17. You know what I'm saying? So it's where's the hair, right? So yeah, dude, it's just she was uncomfortable there, and then and that at that point, I, as a person who respects all human beings, felt I just need to tell her aunt that I really appreciate her setting this up and stuff, but I just don't think that her niece would want this, and I think that her niece really wants to finish her high school education, and then see what life gives her as life unfolds.
Yeah, I mean, age 17 is very young, as we all know. Too young and too fresh for a relationship. They're still in, they still have long future ahead of them, go to school and finding a job and stuff like that. I don't think at the age of 17 you know what you want exactly.
Well, I mean, you were 17. Did you know what you wanted?
Honestly, no. I was still in the temple at the time, and I was so confused whether I like men or women. Career-wise, I don't even know what is, should I stay in the temple for the rest of my life, or should I leave the temple and find my happiness somewhere else? And it was all about confusing and finding yourself at that early stage. So I think
that's beautiful that you went through that subject. It's a very deep subject.
Yeah. But again, here in Laos, people get married at young age anyway. Especially in the countryside, my mom got married when she was 16.
That's the other thing I got to tell your listeners is that the reason that of these 12 women, that 8 or 9 of them I think were married or within a serious relationship. People get married young here, and if you're going for beautiful people, you're the kind of person you're attracted, let's say, to a typically beautiful person, they're not going to be single. I mean, what do you think about that, Nat? Is that true in Laos? That if you see, and then there was also 2 girls that were 19, and then 2 girls that are in their early 20s, and I should say women. And what do you agree that if when your listeners come here to try and date, that they need to understand that attractive younger people are married and they stay married, right?
Yes, especially girls from the countryside. Like I said, is the family pressure as well. Once you reach the age of 18 or even younger, I mean, you don't have much choice. Most people drop out of school, and what next? Is to build a family and have children as early as possible, because like I said, having children, that means you have a guarantee or a pension.
Oh, you get money from the government?
Your children will look after you when you get old.
Oh, that pension, okay.
Yeah, so that's why most people would choose to get married early on. Most of my friends, same age or even younger, they have at least 2-3 children. And it is like that. So building family from very young age is very common here. Yeah.
Yes, I mean, that's what I would just warn your listeners, that you say, okay, there's Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, Philippines, Laos, right? China, in this area. And when you're trying to pick a country based on culture, one thing to know is I don't know that there's a lot of single women in Laos. I think that there's a lot of women who are going to give you their contact. This is amazing for me. I'm a 57-year-old guy, 12 women in 1 month give me their contact, but guess what? They're not single. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what I think your listeners need to think about.
Yeah, I think one of the things is because you're a foreigner, and being foreigner coming to Laos, some local women would find you attractive. You're different, right? So they probably want to experience something different. I don't know.
Right, that's right.
Yeah.
Even if they're married, they're like, let me just see what this guy's like, because they give me their contact.
That part is so unlikely. I mean, why would anyone do that? I mean, you have your partner and you still give a contact to somebody else, and what do you expect? I mean, That's like
Well, there's
cheating.
different reasons. So this is the thing. And that, like I said, it's all an experiment. Okay, each one wanted to make an experiment, but I can tell you, like, one of them, the experiment is that she's starting a business, okay, a travel business, and this was a way for her to get a potential client.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so she's married. I know it, and she has a daughter. He says, people know people here, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you'll
it's
actually,
small town.
yeah, you'll actually, be able to kind of connect people. Yeah, and yeah, that was one. Another one, some girls, now, some people have money here, right? I mean, enough money. I mean, I'm not saying it's like a rich country, but I'm saying like women are working, and they're making, their 100 euros or 200 euros a month at least, and so they have money. But sometimes it's interesting for them to have that interesting, different phenotypical man take them out to dinner.
Yeah, yeah.
Just even if that's 5 euros, 100,000 keep. Yeah. It's nice for them to have it. So that was the experiment for two of them. And so they're, when you say why are they like married women giving out their contact, another one is just because they got married when they're 16, they're bored and they want to just have someone pay attention to them, flirt with them, take them out to dinner, that stuff.
So, in your opinion, if somebody is already married and then still give you the contact and somehow flirt with you, what do you think? Do you think you see yourself being in a relationship with
Great
such
question.
person?
Let's go. No, I am not a cheater. So I'm a Buddhist, by the way. So right. So like the deal with me is, what I want to tell you about this. There's so many things come to mind. Nat, I let the airplane go by. Give me a chance to think. So first of all, the answer is no. I need a single woman. Okay. Then I want to talk about this exchange, that I understand that there's something that they want from me and that I want from them.
Yeah.
That's also, I think, important for your listeners to be able to sort of grapple with. It's like, to what degree is there an exchange, like where the man has money, right? And the woman is young and beautiful.
Yeah.
And I think that's some, at its purest form, that's prostitution, right? So like you pay some money and then you have a relationship. So that's not healthy, let's say. No. But then there's like, every man in my family that I know of, they're the ones that make the money. And the woman makes it for a nice house. So, yeah. What do you think about that?
Well, in a culture like Laos, men is subjected to be a provider. Even this modern age, women work more and more, but still, in terms of marriage and, having a husband, they still expect that men should be the provider. And the different age gap relationship in Laos is more accepting. Maybe it's because of our culture, like we respect elderly, our old 57-year-old
man.
Yeah, it's the culture. It's the culture thing.
My 17-year-old wife will respect me. I'm so old.
Well,
that's a joke.
Well, let's say in a family, like children would look after their parents when they get old, right? And the same goes to the lifelong partner. Let's say my partner is much older than me. By the time when he needs help or support, I see myself being married too.
And that's an exchange, right? Some old man wants a young woman to take care of him or something?
I think it's fair. If you're older man and has more money, if you want a young, beautiful girl to be your wife and be your mother of your children, I think it's a fair deal. I don't see anything wrong with that. Right. If she's if she's happy, if she wants it and wants to be a housewife and look after your children,
she feels happy. Is the point.
I see it as a fair deal.
Right. And why did that come to mind to me, that exchange subject? Because you asked me, like, well, what do you think about these married women? Are you interested in these women? That was really your question. And I don't know, as soon as I think about that, I just think about, like, hang on a sec, what is this relationship all about? Well, there's really two things going on. One is just wanting the other person to be happy, right? Which is the spiritual thing we learn in Buddhism, right? The absolute love.
Yeah. It's like if you love somebody enough, you will want them to be happy regardless.
Well, but strangers that are just sitting here, I want them to be happy. Mm-hmm. I think that all humans deserve happiness. Yeah. Okay, so there's that thing, but that's like one thing. Then there's the whole relative thing of I love you if you're honest, if you don't drink too much, if you're this, if. So at any rate, when you start talking about these women that are married, it's like, no, that just breaks all my ifs. there's no honesty, there's manipulation, there's all these things going on that are not right. So no, that's the short answer to your question. But then the long answer is that we're looking at two things. We're looking at a relative love, I love you if, and then also an absolute love, which is just that I want them to be happy, like that.
Yeah, well, that's a good answer. So you see yourself living in Laos for a long term if you found
thank
the
you for
loved
asking
one.
that, Nat. Then we need to understand what this place is called. This is called, the city we're in now is Luang Pollution Pabang, okay? This place has a river of garbage. Wait, let me ask you first. Can I get put in jail or like ostracized from this country if I say something bad about it?
Anything but politics.
Okay, I won't talk about politics because I think in the Philippines, if you're like a traveler and you come and you start like my hotel sucks and this place sucks and this is bad, then they can literally take away your visa.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you haven't heard that?
No.
Yeah.
Laos is not that bad.
It's not like
that. Stay away from the politics, you'll be fine.
Yeah, no, nothing about politics. But yeah, no. Listen, I love this place. I love how those women gave me their contacts, even though they're married and stuff. I love it. I really love it. But guess what? I hate the air. You can't breathe. I'm a runner, and I run. And I have to go way up into the mountains, and even then, when those motorcycles go by, and I can't breathe. So if you like to exercise, this is not your place.
No.
Okay, what do you think about that?
I mean, I kind of agree. I mean, the street is the problem. Street in Luang Prabang is very small, but then it congested with all the traffic.
Right, you had that video recently about all the white vans.
Exactly.
You can't get around. That was a good video, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. Unless if you go outside of town, there are a few places that you can do exercise, but again, you will see lots of garbage and plastics all over the place.
Okay, there's garbage thrown around, but let the listeners understand this. First of all, it's not any better, any worse than any other country. Okay, and guess what? London, New York, Chicago, as they were developing economies like it is here, they had horrible tenements and open sewage in London, and oh my God, the slaughter yards in Chicago. Okay, so there's problems in every country, and it's just like there's no country better or worse. But with that said, let's be honest. The bad thing here is this pollution. I mean, the garbage smell, the smell of the motorcycles and the air. It is really, that's really the minus. Yeah. The plus is I think it's really the people. Even though those women were married, they're so sweet and stuff to talk to me like that and make it so I don't feel alone here and stuff. I didn't know anybody here. I didn't do any internet dating. I just came here. And, I just want to say it was so positive. Oh, no crime. There's no crime here.
Very safe, yeah.
But I mean, nobody. Everyone gives me exact change. Everyone returns my wallet, keeps falling out of my pocket. Yeah. I mean, this is like a truly gem in terms of the people's integrity. Yeah. The integrity here is through the roof. Now, take Chicago, take New York, take Los Angeles. No. Everyone's stealing from you. You have to watch your back constantly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, you don't know about that? Yeah, so every country has their pluses and minuses. It's really just a matter of what's right for you, at a certain time.
Yeah. So, do you see yourself living here for a long term?
What's that? I would not dream. I wouldn't dream of getting a house here. I wouldn't dream of it. It would just be like a nightmare. I mean, for me now, because at this point in my life, exercise is so important. I run like 20 kilometers, between 10 and 20 kilometers a day. Yeah. No. This is not going to work. Okay. And with all that garbage. Okay, let's just talk quickly about that. And I won't get into politics, but there is this Mekong River, okay? Mm-hmm. And the Mekong River ends in the Mekong River Delta. And the Mekong River Delta is where Vietnam has 80% of their rice production. And guess what? That was identified by the World Bank as the biggest economic risk now in Vietnam. Yeah, because guess what? This river behind us, it connects the Mekong, is a river of garbage. Yeah. And that's going all into that delta.
Unfortunately, all these boats that cruise up and down along the river, they just throw the garbage into the river, in the evening. It's very sad, yeah. I mean, I just made a short video that I uploaded on my channel. It's like a pile of garbage in this little stream, like only 5 minutes from Luang Prabang, and that is very filthy.
Yeah. And then, but don't feel too bad about it. The problem is it's an educational thing. So where we met on the ferry, then we go across, the ferry people leave their engines running the whole time. You sit there breathing in the engine fumes. So it's an educational thing where in the schools you can just say, turn off your engines. You can say, don't litter, don't be a litter bug. That's how we learned it, because we didn't always have this in USA. We learned it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. In the 1970s, because before that we had all kinds of garbage and stuff, but then we learned it in the 70s with this thing called Ranger Rick, for example, this magazine I would get. They would say like, give a hoot, don't pollute, this owl. Say, owls make sound like hoo hoo, so give a hoot, don't pollute. You know, and this is really good for kids. It's a kid's figure, and then like, it'll come here. You know, it's just natural progress where like you have a booming economy. Well, it's a growing economy, let's say here now. And so with that growth comes this priorities. And the priority is not ecology. This is a different subject, but I just want to mention it. Yeah. And don't worry, because you'll see just like in USA, it's just the next step that they'll start to be more ecologically responsible.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I mean, at school, we were taught about the danger of plastic and, you know, the pollution and stuff like that. It's still gonna take a long time. Let's say every time when I take public bus, go to my mom's place or traveling within Laos, a lot of Black people get car sick. And before I get into the bus, you know, the driver will hand each individual a plastic bag to throw, you know, in case you get sick and you want to throw up. And that's what happens. So sometimes the parents will have like 2-3 kids with them, and when they got sick, they throw up into the plastic bag and they just threw it like through the window.
Well, then how do you, okay, tell me, Nat, how come they're throwing out the plastic bags out the window when you just said you're learning in school about plastic? So how does that work?
They're just too careless.
So they learn it in school, but they don't really care about school.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, they're like more and more younger people, especially those who live in the city, like including myself, we care about, you know, the cleanliness and stuff, because during the COVID time, we organized our team, you know, to collect clean the garbage at least twice a week. And I gave up because, you know, once you clean it and then in a few days you come back, there you go. I mean, we even bought like rubbish bin, just put it there, and it just, you know, people just...
Okay, so there's those two components.
Yeah.
In the culture, I mean.
Yeah. There are people who care about environment and stuff like that, but there are more people who don't.
Right.
Yeah.
I just want to mention that they have this problem, I think, all over Asia, not just Southeast Asia, but in Russia. So I used to live in Russia, and they have this thing called pofigism, which means they just so don't care about anything that's not your own. So that minya pofig, they say in Russian, which is like, you know, the river's not mine, so just throw something in there.
Yeah.
So that's kind of probably what those people are doing, right? They just don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
About others, yes.
That's a very interesting topic. I mean, is there anything else that you want to give my audience about your experience staying in Luang Prabang for 1 month? What do you find it challenging to live here? You know,
you mentioned one thing in the last video, or in that comment there that I made on that video. There's that subject of the wedding parties that can start at 2:30 a.m. and go on till the morning. That was a little bit painful, but no. Honestly, I think it's just the air that I said that was difficult for me. Yeah, this place is a dream, you know, other than that. I like to say, because there's no crime and everyone's so friendly. If you're going to learn the language, you know, you need to do that. Man, it's just, you know, I went to the pottery place across the river, made a nice mug, went to the other pottery place over here, P70, and fired it, you know, the gentleman from USA. Yeah, Mike, yeah, you know Mike? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and his wife, Dean. Need, right. I reversed the letters. Dean is need.
They're doing business there, and I went to their restaurant and had noodle there once, and it was really good.
Okay.
Yeah. Pho, yes.
Okay. Pho is like a hot noodle soup dish, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, we would say pho in English. Yeah. Yeah, I really don't have anything else to add. I wish that your audience could just see these Buddhist children playing in the river. It's such a beautiful sight.
Since you don't see yourself living here for a long term, let's say if you found a right one from Laos, what's going to happen?
Guess what? With love, my parents told me, they said, if you love someone, location doesn't matter.
I agree.
And that's the thing. Why? Because a big part of the love relationship is compromise and listening, right? So then it's really like, look, baby, whether she's 17 or whether she's 37, I still call her baby. So look, baby, where do you want to live? At 17, I'm not going to give that up. That's just too funny. I'm just inviting comments. This pervert is like dating a 17-year-old. But hang on a sec. So I'm respectful of the 17-year-old, for the record. Now, what I wanted to say is it is a question mark. And you know what? You mentioned that they haven't traveled, a lot of people here. And none of the girls that I talked to, women that I talked to, and one of them was a girl at 17. It's not. So at any rate, they haven't traveled. So there, I would really look for some period where like, let's go visit and to see how you feel. How do you feel about the air? Maybe she says, you know what, Tom, you think the air is so good in Italy, but I like the air better in Laos. Because it has a certain smell. That she's comfortable with burning plastic. Because often you smell burning plastic, right? Be honest.
Yeah, I mean, you can smell burning plastic sometimes, but I don't think anyone would like that.
Okay. But to be honest, Nat, do you think it's just sometimes or how often do you smell burning plastic here? Honestly.
In the area where I live, not very often because it's in towns. But if I go a little bit outside, then
More so. Okay.
yeah, more so. Yeah.
I'm just interested. Honestly, it's not a. How do you say? It's a question I want to know the answer to because I'm wondering if I'm not somehow prejudiced to that. You know what I mean? Like I'm just thinking it's like a bad smell when it's not. So it'd be interesting to hear other people's comments. If other people of your audience,
it's very polluted and it's not healthy. So
well, it's just be interesting. Maybe Tom, it's like something's wrong with you with your nose. You got a really big nose and you just like smell too much or something. You know what I mean? Honestly, there's probably different. Because why am I opening that conversation? Because where are all the other people? No one's saying this. You got this like Lao legends now in Lao. All my favorite. That's how I studied Lao language. Listen to all the channels, right? Bocom Travel. And Lipoli or something, some older guy now that's going USA back and forth. What's his name? Leopoli?
I have not seen his
that channel.
video.
Okay, I'll show it to you. Yeah, that's like pure Laos language channel.
Okay.
Yeah, and
I mean, to be fair,
why is no one else talking about it?
Yeah. To be fair with the plastic, I mean, in Luang Prabang, there's a expat community here that I saw. There was an open question and there was some argument, going on in a group, because on the main street, back in the day around 9 o'clock, the pickup truck will come around to collect the garbage, and people, at that time, people were still enjoying their meal, and suddenly all this smell,
Oh my God, that garbage truck is so
really bad, really bad.
Dripping the soup, that soup.
Oh.
But you wondered how many people making that soup.
So a lot of people talk about it a while ago, and then I think they talked to the governor and they changed the timing, and now it's later. It's around 10:30, so it's better.
That's wild though that they collect the garbage at night. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
That's true. I've noticed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's it. This is all just for having fun, I think, at Laos' expense, because the truth is that this is a beautiful place. There's a growing economy. They're going to get the ecology better. They're figuring it out, the whole relationship with all their brothers and sisters in China and around the whole area.
Yep.
And it's working out, it's just a neat little time.
Yes. It's growing. I hope we're heading in the right direction. I mean, in terms of tourism, we tend to have more and more Chinese tourists, so that's different compared to maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're your brothers and sisters. I mean, you share grandmother with those people not more than like 2,000 years ago,
Yeah, to be honest, majority of Lao ethnic minorities, originally from China. Let's say, Hmong, Akha, Ho, and, even Lao people themselves. Except Khmer people, I don't think we're from China. Yeah, I mean, we all share the same ancestral.
Yeah, that's all I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So it's a team effort.
Yeah. Anything else you would like to add on?
That's the most important thing right there.
Right.
The world is one team.
Yeah.
No, other than that, I'm good. I'm happy with these 12 girls. I want to say I'm so grateful to come here. I'm grateful to all those women who how do you say it, had enough patience to deal with my craziness, and that I want to make a family with them and have babies with them, even though we haven't met yet, and all that stuff. So thank you.
Well, thanks for being with us today, and thanks for sharing your wonderful experience. Yeah, it's this is the first time for me to interview somebody who who talked deeply about the dating culture here, and I think people will find it interesting.
Great. I hope so. I hope it's useful for all of your wonderful audience.
I hope so too. Yeah. Well, thank you. So you're leaving soon?
Yeah, leave on Monday.
Monday for good?
Yeah, for good. Never come back. No, I mean, like I said, one of these women calls me back. I'm going to come back in the spring for sure.
Yeah, just to visit.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Well, no, but to visit, but maybe she's like, Tom, this is a deal breaker if you can't at least build a house here in China or something. So she's like, you can find your clean air, but we have to have a house here. Okay. I'm sure we can do that. One of the problems, this is interesting, is that Starlink is not allowed yet here.
No.
Now, if they let Starlink be here, you could be on any one of these mountains over here and have some clean air and have great internet. And I'm a digital nomad, so it would work fine for me. So maybe that'll be a solution.
Right. All right, folks. I hope you're enjoying our conversation. I will see you in the next EP. So yeah, bye.